Hello there. Well, it's another little country road and another Iron Age Hillfort. Somebody's got to do it. I'm not far from Renton, and we're going up to have a look at the Hillfort. Well, it's called Carman Hillfort. I don't know. I don't think the hill's called Carman Hill. Not sure. At the moment, I'm not sure. Having started at Renton, at the moment I don't know whether I'm going to end at Cardross or Balloch. Once we get up onto the top of the Hillfort, you can see it just behind me there, how prominent it is in the skyline, and how it would be a good spot to see what was going on all around you. But once we're up there, I'm going to have a look. I suspect there's going to be some sort of path between there, heading north towards the Stoneymullan Road, part of the Three Lochs Way. Then I would head into Balloch. But I just want to have a look at that path. I suspect it's going to look okay. I don't want to be ploughing through kind of rough moorland and stuff. I'm hoping there's a decent path, in which case I will end at Balloch. If I don't like the look of it, I'll end at Cardross. We've got a very cold day. I haven't got anything to eat with me. I forgot to buy something. What sort of excuse is that, you're thinking to yourself? It's only about 6 miles, whichever way I go, so I'll be finished by lunchtime. Then we'll maybe have a bowl of soup or a pint or something, I don't know. See how we go. Again, it's just an excuse to get out of the house in this kind of cold, bleak time of year. Bit of a walk in the great outdoors, wee bit of history, and like the last Hillfort that I had a look at, Walls Hill in Renfrewshire, once we're up here, we won't. There's not going to be a great deal to see other than how it sits in the landscape, some views from there. But this one, there is a little bit more detail after a survey in 1955. Compared to the Hillfort at Walls Hill in Renfrewshire. So I'm looking forward to getting up here and having a good look. It sits in the midst of a kind of pretty rough bit of land. It's full of muirs, not moors, muirs. M-U-I-R, you know, you've got Carman Muir, Overton Muir, Bromley Muir, so on and so forth. Let's just hope there's a path heading in the direction of Stoneymullan. Let's go. Well, this is where we leave that little road there. And you've got to be careful, there's no pavement and the cars that are on it are actually going at a heck of a speed. There's bends and things, you're constantly changing from one side of the road to the other so you're not in a blind spot. So if you come this way, be very careful. But thankfully we're leaving that now, and this is where we head up towards the Hillfort, which you can see, I think, in the background somewhere. There. And I strongly suspect there will be a decent path on the other side, and I will be ending at Balloch. But we'll see, you know. We've got a cracking day. I was expecting a bit of mist, but there isn't really any. There is the odd pocket and bits of low-lying ground. The sun's still low. There's potential for lots of nice views and things, you know. But let's go.
Summertime has gone, winter's on its way. How many leaves will fall before it's over? nights grow long and blue. Twinkle here, frost is near. Will I make it through? The days are long and dark, even in the park, where birds they sit and stare at the water, where soon the pond will freeze right over. The time to shine is over, as nights grow long and blue. Twinkle here, frost is near. Will I make it through? The time to shine is over, as nights grow long and blue. Twinkle here, frost is near. Will I make it through?
This is really very special. I hadn't quite anticipated that this would be just so good. I thought we was heading for a featureless moor with a bit of a bump that was once an Iron Age Hillfort. But oh my goodness. I'm ever so glad I made the effort to come out today. It's absolutely stunning. It was somebody that suggested this Hillfort, Carman Hillfort, in one of the video comments. It was the video about Walls Hill. Walls Hill, Iron Age Hillfort in Renfrewshire. And like Walls Hill, I've never been here before at Carman. This is all new to me. I have seen what looks like a reasonable path heading north towards the Stoneymullan Road, and so I'm going to follow that. It's not a wide track, it's just a footpath, but it looks very well used. It's much more than just an animal track. And I'll end the day at Balloch. This is, I mean, a lot of Iron Age hill forts were on hills, strange as it may seem. This one's no exception, and the reason they were on the hills was because you could get a good view of the land all around. And the very fact that it was on a hill itself offered a little bit of defence, and you could stick banks and ditches and stone walls and things to enhance that defence. This is absolutely stunning. I mean, at the moment I'm looking towards Dumbarton Rock and the River Clyde. So from here you can see that's the River Clyde there. I can see Dumbarton Rock across to Port Glasgow, Greenock, Gourock, way over the Firth of Clyde in that direction. So this offers really good views of all the land around here. I hadn't really expected it to be just as good as this from a viewpoint of view. And over there we're looking towards Alexandria as that kind of low pass, if that's the word, heads towards Balloch. And although Walls Hill was a very large hill fort, very impressive the way it sits the landscape, that flat plateau, there's something very important going on there. As if you've watched the video about Walls Hill, you'll know what I'm talking about. There's more to see in here at Carman, as far as walls and the general shape of the hill fort is concerned. As I said, in connection with Walls Hill, they carried out a survey in the 1950s. They didn't find a great deal, the odd bit of pottery, maybe a bit of a hint of a hut circle. But here at Carman, there's much greater evidence of that Iron Age habitation. Again, they carried out a survey, I think it was in 1955 here, and in addition to the surrounding boundary of the hill fort, whether that was a bank plus a wall, I'm not sure. There's certainly a wall exists today, huge stones. I mean, no doubt that was actually part of the Iron Age structure. So there's a lot more to see here. In addition to that, boundary, in places are actually a double boundary. In other words, you've got two banks and ditches perhaps for increased defence on a side that's maybe a bit more vulnerable to attack. And there's also, just where I am now, this is a kind of another kind of circular area within the whole fort that's on slightly higher ground, and like many of these forts, this was without question where the people who were in charge of this group of people had their hut circle or hut circles. I've seen it in other forts at near Lennoxton, just above Lennoxton in the Campsie Hills. I think it's the Meikle Reeve Hill Fort, I think it's called that. And again, you can see the general kind of fort, and then a kind of small area at the top where the high Hegians, those in charge of those people, would have stayed. A wee bit like, you can almost think of it as a kind of Mott and Bailey thing, where you've got the main structure, and then around about that you've got an additional wall with buildings within that. And that survey in 1955 also discovered a number of hut circles, you know, unlike the Walls Hill fort where they kind of hint of maybe one hut circle, but there would have been an awful lot more there. Here they actually discovered the remains or the hints of, I think, up to about 10 hut circles, and again there would have been more. Just because they've only discovered up to 10 doesn't mean that that's all there was. There was a lot, would have been a lot of people living here. Not as many as at the Walls Hill fort, but the remains here are really very impressive, and that combined with the view and the walk to get here, oh God, I highly recommend this as a good little donder. This, as I've already said, they carried out a survey in 1955. Before then, when you look at earlier maps, there was no mention of a hill fort here. There was just, in early Ordnance Survey maps, there was the word Carman, but that word was not associated with anything. It wasn't associated, it didn't say Carman Muir or anything, or Carman Muir. It just said Carman. You think, why is that word there in isolation when it's not associated with a steading or anything else? Perhaps they just associated that word with this site. They didn't know what it was, but it looks like something. But then the question is, where did the word Carman come from? You know, where did that word come from? Why is this called Carman? Carman, Iron Age Hillfort. God only knows. Sometimes words have got a way of being passed down generations and generations, and maybe the wife of the High Hegian who stayed right here at the top of this hill fort was called Carman. What a lovely name it would have been. Unlike Wallace Hill, when you look at modern Ordnance Survey maps and zoom in, you can really start to see the shape of this hill fort. You can see the outer banked and walled defence, which, as I've already said, was double banked in places. You've got additional defence there. You can also see this inner circular area that I'm sat in just now, and as I say, up to about 10 hut circles. It's very clear in modern Ordnance Survey maps. Obviously, since the 1955 survey, they've recognised what this is, and not just a bit of land called Carman. Anyway, it's very cold. As I said earlier, I don't have anything to eat. I forgot to buy something to eat. I think I'm going gaga. Anyway, we'll head for that path, which will take me north towards the Stoneymullan Road, part of the Three Lochs Way. Then I'll head into Balloch. I think I'll probably end the video here. I may give you additional shots as I kind of merrily tramp across that moor. It takes me up over a couple of hills, I think up to maybe over 300 metres, a wee bit higher than this. As I say, I'll probably end the day or my trip with either a beer or a soup in Balloch. I don't think I'll film that. I think I'll probably just kind of end about, play us out with a song or something. I recently got a new computer and it's almost destroyed me stress-wise. It's like moving house, the amount of stress that's involved in a new computer. My God, so I haven't figured out what's going on with the sounds. I can't quite make music. I'm not even sure if I can make videos yet, actually. That's another story. Hopefully, if you're watching this, you'll know I've managed to make this somehow. So let's get on our way. I really didn't expect this. It's blown me away. It's just so beautiful, you know. I don't think very rarely do you get a little kind of moorland kind of bunch of hills that offer such stunning views all around. The River Clyde, Loch Lomond, Ben Lomond. As I say, I'm blown away here. I've been trying to think what to call the video, and I've decided I'm just going to call it Carman, and perhaps as a subtitle, The Scottish Hill Fort with Views to Die For, or something like that. But I think Carman on its own is a fitting and apt title. I know I've already said goodbye back there, or maybe I deleted it out, or edited it out. But I'll say it again, I'm Eddie Burns. Until the next time, take care.